Have you ever wondered about the dark side of the atomic age, the nuclear and radiation accidents that have shaped our history? This era, also known as the atomic age, began in the mid-20th century. Marked by the discovery and utilization of nuclear technology, it promised a future of seemingly unlimited power and potential. The advent of nuclear power not only revolutionized the energy sector, but also introduced a new chapter in medical research, space exploration, and military might. But as with any powerful force, it brought its own set of risks. Over the decades, the world has witnessed several nuclear and radiation accidents, some of which have had far-reaching and devastating consequences. These incidents serve as stark reminders of the perils that come with harnessing such immense power. They've shaped policies, influenced public opinion, and left indelible marks on the environment. Let's delve into the history of some of these accidents and their impact on our world. Our journey begins in 1957 in Windscale, England. This quaint English village was the site of the worst nuclear accident in Great Britain's history, an event that would forever be known as the Windscale Fire. On the 10th of October, a routine procedure to release built-up energy in the Windscale Pile Number 1, a nuclear reactor, went horribly wrong. Instead of releasing the excess heat, the operation sparked a fire that would burn for 3 long days. Imagine that, a nuclear fire, burning uncontrollably, right in the heart of peaceful England. The immediate aftermath was chaotic. Workers scrambled to contain the blaze, risking their lives in the process. The fire was eventually extinguished, but not before it had released significant amounts of radioactive material into the environment. Iodine-131 and polonium-210, isotopes with harmful radiation, were among the pollutants that made their way into the air, soil, and even the milk from local cows. In the days following the fire, authorities downplayed the severity of the incident. But as time went on, the true extent of the disaster began to emerge. The surrounding area was contaminated, and the local population was exposed to increased levels of radiation. This led to an estimated increase in cancer cases over the following decades. But the full extent of the long-term health effects remains a subject of ongoing research. The Windscale fire had far-reaching consequences beyond its immediate impact. It led to a drop in public confidence in nuclear power, not just in the UK, but around the world. It highlighted the risks associated with nuclear technology, prompting changes in safety regulations and reactor design. The incident also had political repercussions. It resulted in a halt to the UK's nuclear weapons program, a significant outcome during the height of the Cold War. It was a stark reminder that the power that could potentially end wars could also cause disasters of its own. The Windscale fire was a wake-up call for the world about the potential dangers of nuclear technology. It remains a poignant reminder of the need for constant vigilance and stringent safety measures in the nuclear industry. Fast forward to 1979, and we land in Pennsylvania, USA, at the 3 Mile Island, an island that would soon be synonymous with the worst nuclear accident in US history. The 3 Mile Island accident was a result of a series of unfortunate and unforeseen technical glitches. It all began with a minor malfunction in the secondary cooling circuit, which caused the temperature in the primary coolant to rise. This triggered an automatic shutdown of the reactor. However, a valve that should have closed failed to do so, leading to a leakage of coolant. The operators, misreading the situation, made the critical error of reducing the flow of emergency cooling water, leading to a partial meltdown of the reactor core. As the crack of dawn approached on that fateful day of March 28th, the surrounding residents of the island were oblivious to the silent chaos unfolding inside the nuclear power plant. The immediate aftermath of the accident was fraught with fear and confusion. Miscommunication and a lack of accurate data about the extent of the damage led to panic among the public and authorities alike. In the following days, investigations revealed that a significant amount of radioactive gases had been released into the atmosphere. This revelation sparked widespread concern about the potential long-term health effects on the local population and the environment. The 3 Mile Island accident had far-reaching impacts that extended well beyond the confines of the island. The incident led to sweeping changes in the regulatory landscape of the nuclear industry in the United States. The accident underscored the critical importance of operational safety, emergency preparedness, and clear communication during a crisis. Even today, the shadow of 3 Mile Island looms large over the nuclear industry. The site of the accident now serves as a stark reminder of the potential risks associated with nuclear power. The damaged reactor was eventually cleaned up in a painstaking process that took nearly 15 years and cost around $1 billion. The 3 Mile Island accident further emphasized the need for safety in the nuclear industry. It remains a pivotal moment in history that forever changed the way we approach and understand nuclear power. 7 years later, in 1986, the world was rocked by the worst nuclear disaster in history, in Chernobyl, Soviet Union. Now, the Chernobyl disaster. It's a name that sends shivers down the spine of anyone aware of its history. This catastrophe was the direct result of a flawed reactor design coupled with inadequately trained personnel. The night of April 26, 1986, should have been like any other. A routine safety test was underway at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. However, a sudden surge in power during the test led to an explosion and open-air graphite fire. This released substantial amounts of radioactive materials into the atmosphere, causing a radioactive cloud to drift over large parts of the Western Soviet Union and Europe. The immediate aftermath of the Chernobyl disaster was dire. 2 plant workers died on the day of the explosion, and a further 28 people died within a few weeks as a result of acute radiation sickness. The explosion and subsequent fire also resulted in the evacuation of nearly 100,000 people from the surrounding areas. But the long-term effects were, and continue to be, even more devastating. The exclusion zone, a 30-kilometer radius around the plant, remains largely uninhabitable to this day. Thousands upon thousands have suffered from radiation-induced illnesses, and the environmental impact is immeasurable, not to mention the economic costs. The cleanup and containment efforts, including the construction of the massive sarcophagus to encase the damaged reactor, cost billions of dollars, and the ongoing monitoring and maintenance of the site continue to drain resources. The Chernobyl disaster was a stark reminder of the devastating impact of nuclear accidents. It underscored the importance of nuclear safety and the dire consequences of its neglect. The shadow of Chernobyl looms large over the nuclear industry, a grim testament to the inherent risks of nuclear power when not properly managed. And yet, it also serves as a testament to the resilience of nature and humanity in the face of such a disaster. The exclusion zone has become a unique sanctuary for wildlife, and the human spirit continues to endure, learn, and evolve in the face of adversity. The Chernobyl disaster was a stark reminder of the devastating impact of nuclear accidents. In recent history, in 2011, Japan experienced a catastrophic nuclear disaster at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. The tale begins with a magnitude 9 earthquake, the most powerful in Japan's recorded history. The quake triggered a devastating tsunami, waves reaching heights of 40 meters, sweeping across Japan's northeastern coast. The Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, nestled on this coastline, was not spared. The plant, housing 6 boiling water reactors, was hit hard. The tsunami waves overwhelmed the plant's seawall, flooding the lower areas. This inundation led to the failure of the cooling systems of 3 reactors. Without the cooling systems to manage the extreme heat, these reactors went into meltdown. The meltdown was a catastrophic event, leading to a release of radioactive materials into the surrounding environment. The immediate aftermath saw the evacuation of over 150,000 residents within a 20-kilometer radius of the plant. But the effects of the disaster reached far beyond the evacuation zone. The radioactive fallout contaminated water sources, agricultural lands, and the very air people breathed. This radioactive contamination had long-term effects, both on the environment and on the health of the population. Increased rates of cancer, particularly thyroid cancer in children, have been reported in the years following the disaster. The Fukushima disaster also had significant socio-economic implications. The cleanup and decommissioning efforts have cost billions of dollars and are expected to continue for decades. The disaster also led to a nationwide shutdown of all nuclear power plants, causing a sharp increase in fossil fuel use and energy prices. The incident at Fukushima Daiichi was a stark reminder of the potential dangers associated with nuclear power. It highlighted the importance of stringent safety measures and emergency preparedness, especially in regions prone to natural disasters. The Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster showed us that even with modern technology, nuclear accidents can still occur. From Windscale to Fukushima, nuclear and radiation accidents have had a significant impact on our world. Each incident, from the Windscale fire in the United Kingdom to the 3 Mile Island accident in the United States, the catastrophic Chernobyl disaster in Ukraine, and the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear crisis in Japan, has underscored the immense power and potential danger of nuclear technology. These accidents have resulted in tragic loss of life, long-lasting environmental damage, and significant economic impact. Moreover, they have provided us with valuable lessons. They've shown us the profound importance of stringent safety protocols, the need for comprehensive emergency planning, and the critical role of transparency in the nuclear industry. As we harness the power of the atom for energy, medicine, and scientific advancement, these lessons must guide our actions. As we continue to use nuclear technology, it is crucial that we learn from these incidents to prevent future accidents, and thus we ensure a safer, brighter future for all.